Indulgence and luxury no longer satisfy my mind. My mind is fed up with worldly pleasures and indulgence. It has become detached from them. Now it finds no joy in them. Now it wants to tread the path of ultimate bliss, a joy that is continuous and not dependent on any material possession. Such joy is what this story aims to tell you today. This story is for those who, having tired of indulgence, alcohol, and worldly pleasures, seek a path towards perpetual bliss. After listening to this story carefully, you will learn about the Panchsheel path, a path that, by walking and consistently practicing meditation, a person can attain the state of ultimate bliss. Before you get lost in this story, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Now, let's begin the story. Buddha had a daily routine of practicing meditation every morning. After that, while wandering amidst the trees in the forest, he continued his walking meditation. One day, during his wanderings, he saw an exceptionally handsome man adorned in beautiful attire, strolling in the morning haze. Buddha sat down on a rock right there. The young man was around 27 or 28 years old. He passed by the rock, but he seemed unaware of Buddha's presence. He was continuously complaining to himself, saying, "Everything is useless. Nothing is good in this world." Hearing this, Buddha asked, "What is not good? What is useless?" The young man, walking away, suddenly stopped. Buddha's voice was clear and calm. The young man saw that Buddha was sitting there in a very peaceful posture. Walking towards him, the young man removed his shoes and respectfully bowed before Buddha. Buddha then asked, "What is not good and what is useless that you keep talking about?" Introducing himself, the young man named Yash said, "I am from Varanasi, one of the wealthiest and respected men. I have lived a life of luxury and enjoyment so far. My parents fulfilled every desire of mine, and I gathered means for pleasure and entertainment. I have a lot of wealth, diamonds, jewelry, wine, dancers, celebrations, and parties, everything you can imagine." After that, the young man says that in this life of luxury and enjoyment, I have a lot of materialistic experiences, but I find no satisfaction in all these things. I have become like a person confined to a room without windows and gasping for the fresh air of a simple and content life. Last night, Yash's friends had gathered. They enjoyed excellent food, drank alcohol, listened to music, and watched beautiful dancers. When the intoxication of love faded away at night, he saw his friends and those dancers lying unconscious in sleep. In that moment, he felt that he could no longer live such a life. He threw away his robe, put on his shoes, and walked out through the main gate. He didn't know where to go. All night, he wandered aimlessly, and by chance, he reached Buddha. By now, it was evening and was sitting in front of Buddha. Buddha explained to him, saying that this life is filled with the diseases of desire. But Yash, there is great joy in this life. Indulging in pleasures and being entangled in sensory desires harm both the body and the mind. If you abandon desires and lead a life of simplicity and perfection, you can experience the true joy of life. Yash, expand your vision all around you. Look at the green trees standing before you. Isn't this beautiful? The moon, the pond, the mountains, the sunlight, the songs of birds, and the sweet sound of footsteps falling. All this is an expansion of creation that can provide us with infinite joy. The joy we obtain from these things keeps both our mind and body healthy. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, exhale deeply. Repeat the process of breathing a few times. And now open your eyes and focus on what is visibly. The trees, the sky, and the sun's rays. You are no longer present in the vicinity of all this nature's joy. That's why you have started to despise your own mind and body. Some people despise their mind and body so much that they contemplate suicide. Life appears to be nothing but suffering for them, but the nature of creation is not inherently painful. Suffering is the result of our way of life and our misguided beliefs. Buddha's words made Yash feel as if cool dewdrops were falling on his burning heart. Feeling enlightened, he fell at Buddha's feet and requested to be his disciple. Buddha, offering support, lifted him up and said that a monk must live a life of extreme simplicity and humility. He would have no possessions, and his shelter would be just a thatched hut under a tree. He would eat whatever alms he received and would eat only once a day. Can you live such a life? Yash said that living such a life would bring great contentment to him. After this, Buddha further stated that a monk should dedicate his mind and body to attain liberation, enabling him to help himself and society. All his efforts are focused on assisting people in achieving liberation from suffering. Do you pledge to do this? Yes, I commit to following this path, he said. Meanwhile, Yash was getting ready to become a disciple of Buddha. On the same day, in the third watch, Yash's father arrived, searching for him. When Yash's father found out in the morning that he was not there, his whole family had been vigorously searching for him since then. Following Yash footmarks, a servant had reached there. He noticed near a large stone he had left his golden shoes. Upon inquiry, he found out that Yash was staying with some monks. He quickly went back and informed Yash's father about everything. When Yash's father arrived there, Buddha was sitting on a rock in a very serene posture. He respectfully asked, "Respected monk, have you seen my son Yash?" Pointing towards the nearby rock, Buddha signaled him to sit there, saying that Yash is in the hut and will come out shortly. Buddha told about what had happened this morning. Yash's father continued listening to Buddha. Buddha explained to Yash's father about Yash's internal thoughts and aspirations. He said that Yash is an intelligent and emotional young man who has found the path to liberation in his heart. Now he has attained faith, peace, and joy. Please be pleased with his actions. Hearing Buddha's words, Yash's father felt a sense of joy. The burden on his mind was gradually lifting. After listening to Buddha's joyful words, Yash's father said, "Please accept me as your disciple as well." Saying this, Yash's father fell at the feet of Buddha. While Buddha was lifting Yash's father to rise, Yash arrived there. He was wearing the robes of a monk, and his head was shaved. Yash smiled with profound joy, and then he respectfully greeted his father with folded hands. His face was radiant with happiness, a sight his father had never seen him in before. Yash's father paid his respects to him, saying that his mother at home was very worried about him. Yash replied with assurance that to alleviate her concerns, he would visit them soon. However, he pledged to follow the teachings of Gurudev Buddha and dedicate his life to serving all living beings. Yash's father, turning towards Buddha, expressed his desire to invite him and his disciples for a meal at his residence tomorrow. If you provide us with teachings on the path of self-awareness, the path to liberation will become clear for all of us. Upon this, Buddha nodded in agreement. The next day, Buddha and his 6 disciples had a meal at Yash's parents' house. Seeing their son safe and joyful, Yash's mother was so overwhelmed with joy that tears flowed from her eyes. Buddha and his disciples were seated on luxurious chairs. Yash's mother served the meal herself. While the monks were silently eating, not a word was spoken, not even by the household servants. When the meal was finished and the utensils were washed, Yash's parents paid their respects to Buddha and sat down on cushions in front of them. Based on the principles of his disciples' practice, Buddha expounded the 5 precepts, the first of which is non-violence. Every living being remains fearful of death. If we adopt the path of mutual understanding and love with sincere hearts, we can follow this principle. We should not only protect human life, but also the lives of animals and all living beings. Following this rule leads to the rise of compassion and knowledge. The second precept is non-stealing, meaning we should not engage in theft. We have no right to steal anyone's property or benefit from the labor of others. The right way is to seek wealth acquisition that allows us to help others stand on their own feet. The third precept is abstaining from sensual pleasures. This means not violating the rights and dignity of others. A wife should always be devoted to her husband, and a husband should always be faithful to his wife. The fourth precept is refraining from false speech. Do not speak words that distort or manipulate the truth, causing animosity between hearts. Do not convey news about others that you are not certain about yourself. The Panchsheel also includes abstaining from the consumption of intoxicants or other stimulating substances. By living according to these principles, not only will you save yourself from troubles, but you will also save your family and friends. You will find that happiness in life has multiplied several times. Upon hearing Buddha's teachings, Yasha's mother felt as if the door to joy had opened in her heart. She was delighted to know that Buddha had accepted her husband as a devotee. After this, Buddha and his 6 disciples returned. So, friends, how did you like this story? Let us know in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to the channel and see you in the next story. Until then, take care and stay blissful.